What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony A.J. Joshua. Get this. Anthony Joshua convinced Tyson Fury will return for the right fight, despite promising to retire from the sport. After knocking out Dillian Whyte in front of 94,000 people at Wembley, Fury has insisted that he is done with boxing, vowing to keep to a promise made to his wife, Paris. Joshua, meanwhile, will take on Alexander Usyk in July to bid to reclaim the IBF, the WBO, and the WBA titles he lost to the Ukrainian last year. The WBC champion Fury was expected to fight the winner of the contest to crown heavyweight boxing's first undisputed champ since Lennox Lewis. And while the Gypsy King is adamant that he won't be tempted back, Joshua is convinced that the fight can be made if he can get past Usyk this summer. He said if Fury was in the boxing arena, was to come out of retirement and honor the gentleman's agreement, there's a lot of money to be made, Joshua said, speaking at the Oxford Union, where he gave a talk to the students. He said, first and foremost, I have a pound-for-pound fighter on my list in Usyk, who's a tough competitor for sure. People say I only focus on what's in front of me, which is a good way to be. But I also want to look at the bigger picture holds so I can steamroll through. I have to, so I can get to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So for sure, I feel like retirement doesn't mean that you've completely given up and you're on a bench clicking your phone, drinking a bottle of Corona. I feel he's still taking over, and he'll come back if the fight or the right fight is presented to him. Those are the words of Anthony Joshua. Let me counterpunch. First off, pot of gold. That's the same way that Tyson Fury explained to him once upon a time when he didn't want him to fight Alexander Usyk. And he said, I don't want him to fight Alexander Usyk because I don't want him to get my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Okay. So he used the same claim. Right. I just thought that was strange. But I agree with Anthony Joshua. Then again, I don't agree with what he's doing. Okay. First off, I agree with him because I don't believe Tyson's done. And I think Tyson is going to have to take off a little longer span of time to prove that, hey, before he comes back, that he was really serious about retiring. Because he gave it to his wife, Paris. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. Let me finish up AJ. What I don't like on how he's going about doing it is simply Anthony Joshua has lost every fight that has something other attached to it. In other words, if he took his eye off the ball, he always gets defeated. If you take your eye off the ball, you're going to fall. Bars. Right? But that's what happened. He said, well, hey, I know people, believe that I should be facing the first person in front of you. Yep. Stop. Yes, you should. And I think if he's going to advance in his career, he should focus on that fighter and only that fighter. It reminds me of something I admire the most, or one of the things that I admire the most about Floyd, Money Mayweather. Why? Floyd never wanted to even talk about anybody else. See, if this was Floyd Mayweather, they would ask him about Tyson. Are you going to fight? Imagine if Floyd was Anthony Joshua, right? Do you think that Tyson Fury? We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury said he's retired, so Tyson Fury's out. We got to worry about Tyson. Tyson, as far as I'm concerned, you see my big muscles. As far as I'm concerned, he's out of the picture. He's a has-been. He beat Dillian Whyte. He beat my leftovers. So I don't really worry about him. I got to get my belts back. And then I'll worry about the belt that Tyson Fury don't want no more. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm only going to focus on the fighter ahead of me. His name is Alexander Usyk. He's on the pound-for-pound list. He's undefeated. So I need to get him back and I need to get my stripes back. And that is how you do it from Floyd, Money Mayweather. Right? So that's the attitude, though, really. That's the attitude that Anthony Joshua needs. Okay, that's it. I mean, there's no way around it. There's no, that's the attitude. Because him looking at Tyson Fury, a guy that's retired, and he's thinking and talking, and, no. Focus on Alexander Usyk. And how you do that, that's how you mentally stop other things and other people from distracting you, derailing you from your goals. Okay, they can easily happen. That shit with Jarrell Miller, then Dillian White, then Luis Ortiz, then Adam Kalnaki, then Andy Ruiz. That shit was a disaster waiting to happen. Why? Because he was not focused on one particular person. He didn't really know, but then that lets you know that, hey, let me see what's going on. Anthony Joshua was looking at tapes of Andy Ruiz the night before he got beat. Facts. So for him to talk about Tyson Fury, a guy that's claiming that he won't be there, what if Tyson Fury decides that, you know what? I'm going to hang up the gloves. I'm rich. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to get high. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to do the things that I know I like to do. He ain't the only one. Oscar De La Hoya, Pernell Whitaker, David Benavidez, Johnny Tapia. They all partook in the otra cosas. So it's not uncommon for fighters, or ex-fighters, to indulge in the party life. Arturo Gotti's another one. God bless the dead. God bless the dead on a lot of those guys. Pernell Whitaker, the same. But who knows? He might retire. And then meanwhile, you're giving your energy by talking about someone else that's not in the ring in front of you. Okay, that's what you call a mental distraction. Talking about a fighter that's claiming he's going to retire. No, the person you need to be fighting is the person that's not retired, a person that got your belts, that you fought 12 rounds. Okay, those are the things that Anthony Joshua should be worried about. Now, Paris. He, meaning Tyson Fury, gave a promise to Paris, and I wanted to cover this anyway, so I'm going to use this video to do so. 2 for 1. First off, Paris even said herself that I think he would come back to the sport of boxing. So if your wife is expecting you to even break that promise, how serious are you, or is she, about really holding you to that promise that you kept if she thinks you're going to go back into the ring? Counterpunch. So that should tell you right there, even his wife, the one that the promise was made to her, don't even believe he's going to keep it. And you think she'll be pissed if he says, baby, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. I'm sick of these kids. They're getting on my nerves. I have to show who a real Sparta is. Are you with me, Paris? I'm with you, baby. Well, let's crack on then. Kick ass, Seabass. The return of the Gypsy King. Joshua Usyk. Where are you bums? You're all a pack of bums. I'm back. And it happens, it's going to happen, and it's going to be exciting because, I'm glad. And then everybody can say, oh, no, or I told you so. Bars. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Anthony Joshua, confident that he could get Tyson Fury back into the ring. All he has to do is beat Alexander Usyk. Only has to beat Alexander Usyk. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.